That's not good. At the entrance of this mine, this is the reinforced muleway. So this roof here just protected from the natural strata that was splitting potentially from the freeze-thaw action of the winters here. And it's just poured concrete with steel in it. And this is only flooded because it's backfilled. And when it's backfilled, the water has nowhere to go and it just pulls up. You can see the old trolley wire insulators or mounts. Just going further into the mine at the entrance. To the right is the mule barn. Straight ahead is continuation of this rock tunnel. And to the left is the fire boss office. It's actually my flame safety lamp in the window of the mine fire boss office. Ooh, say that 3 times. And this terrifying looking chair was most likely in that office. So scary looking. Miner's muck boots. This is really something cool. It's an actual light that they anchored in the coal vein itself. Wow. That's remarkable, because coal is unstable. There's timber collar supports in the coal too to protect from roof fall, but those timbers have since fallen. There's another one there. Here's a cutout in the coal for the overhead timber support. This is that timber, which has long since come down. You can see the overhead trolley wire mount. This is absolutely rare to see. A coal mine lamp house where the fire boss, couldn't think of the name there, where the fire boss would hand out the safety lamps. And in that window is my Kohler brass flame safety lamp. That's exactly what that window was made for. The rules and regulations and notices of this particular mine would have been framed and placed on this wall. And you can see the discolorization from it being there for so long. This is the pegboard for the miner's check tags. So check in and check out. You would transact a brass tag when you were getting your lamp. And it also let them know who was in the mine at what particular time, because if your tag was missing or still hanging up, depending on however this mine did it, they would know, hey, so-and-so is still at his working area. And if you didn't come back at the end of your shift, they would go looking for you. The coal company also liked the check tag system because it was a receipt of them giving you a piece of their property, which was the miner's flame safety lamp. It was often owned by the coal company itself. The fact that this wooden pegboard is still surviving in these humid conditions underground is nothing short of a miracle and is absolutely amazing. Look at how cool my mine lamp looks in that window. Amazing. So this is how little they thought of the miners that worked for them, they being the coal companies. There's a piece of steel rebar in the center of that window So people couldn't come in here, so they thought, and steal their precious mine lamps. Also, there's hinges right here, and there's a lock there. So they would have a trapdoor in the back end of this. They would lock it, and this door would be closed. So they figured that the miners would try to steal their flame safety lamps. So there would be a transaction with that tag, and they would hand you the lamp, and they would say, don't lose this or it comes out of your pay. The coal companies, back in the early days anyway, would make you pay for the fuel to light these lamps too, which is just completely outrageous, utterly outrageous. These little recessed cubbies were where they stored the flame safety lamps. So there's 3 brackets there. Top one's too short, but the second one and third one would have held lamps, and then the bottom most likely. So there'd probably be about 3 rows of flame safety lamps. Here was another little trap door. That back actually swings open. I don't know what they had in there. There's those hinges and that little lock, similar to what would have been in that window. And here's another small cabinet. So this gives you an idea as to the scale, as to how many flame safety lamps would have been in this thing. A lot. Because that's a big lamp. Look at that coat rack. I love that lime green. Here's one of those windows where it's double-sided with like a trapdoor on the back. So we're on the other side of the office, and here's some lockers. Here's the coal vein. Up there's a gob wall. Now they walled that off for airflow and also as a security measure because they clearly were paranoid about people coming in here and taking the lamps, because up here the coal vein could have been mined further because it's mined everywhere, except they didn't mine around the office. They kind of kept it in a reserve. So it's kind of like a little solitary confinement cell. I think they were really paranoid about theft. The roof is actually full gauge railroad track, just in case the roof collapsed. It would withstand that collapse, most likely. You can hear that running water in the main gangway. It's pretty crazy. Main power switch. Man, if that window could talk. You really have to appreciate that coat rack. That lime green paint is just amazing. Headed down the main gangway off of the office. I'm actually in the track bed. You can see a little bit of rail there. This is an old air door for ventilation of air. They would close this off or open it depending on where they wanted to channel fresh air into the further back mine workings. This is a really cool mine track rail intersection. And the switch. Now I actually freed that up. It actually moves, and I'll demonstrate here. So you come here, you throw the switch Now the tie's moving with it. It shouldn't do that, but this is freed up. I'm probably the first person to do this in a long time. It's amazing. Let's see better days. Still structurally intact though. Yeah. Big ball on top. I can't believe that still works, even though there's no grease or anything. It's just amazing. I freed it up. Wow. Main gangway for haulage of coal. One set of tracks there, one set of tracks here. Time has not been nice till this gangway. I'm in the one rail bed. You can see all the collapse. Straight ahead, it goes to a internal slope. I'm in a rail bed here. You can see the flooded tracks. And where I'm shining my light is the coal vein. And this is an old working that's been sealed off to ventilate air better, channel it, because this is not robbed out. They didn't pull these coal supports because this is actually a coal support. That's what holds up the roof. Really, really horrible collapse. That's completely from the roof to the floor. This slope actually intersects this gangway. And there's technically 3 sets of tracks. One there, one here, and the slope going down. And that's where we came from. That's a really bad collapse going up the mountain, up this slope. And the tracks converge there. There would have been another switch. You can see the switch is a little bit up that way. But that is a complete roof to floor collapse.
What, right over this, Judy?
Yeah. Yep. It's just sheet metal.
Hey, it's forbidden back there.
You're at the forbidden dock.
How's that go? Oh, it connects with the...
Yeah, it's that lower working where you just came from, like that slight electrical room or whatever. Is that Jersey Customs 577? Bump, bump.
Imposter.
Imposter.
You don't want to slip and fall and hit this.
I know, that's how I slipped my wrist and mine I'm not gonna name. October 2005. Just missed my brachial artery. Roof sucks. She's a rough one.
Come down a little further.
Yeah, down the forbidden platform from hell itself. You can see flooded structure down there. On the dock. There were stairs, another little dock platform.
Those posts might be for like a handrail maybe going down.
Yeah, or just the structure of the stairs. Yeah, you can see something. That goes vertical. Or near vertical. This same pitch that we got going on here. Nasty.
That is so badass.
I know. If you could get one of those underwater
rovers.
Yeah. Come out crystal clear too. Wow. Remnants of an old door. Door has since rotted off. Back there is where that flooded air shaft is. The mine has achieved its natural aquifer level. They used to pump all this water out. So when the mine closed, they turned the pumps off, obviously, and the mine's just filled back in with water. So like probably 80% of this mine is flooded. Look at all that acid mine drainage. That's really bad. Oh, that acid mine drainage. And that makes that water not usable. It's just toast. That's the natural aquifer. A huge amount of fresh water destroyed. You can see the rail is intact, going right down into the flooded section. And this would go very far down until the deep abyss. You can see these notches were dug out of the coal for the overhead timber supports that would have went horizontal across the roof. There's one such example that is long gone and rotting away. That's all that's left. A very busy haulage slope that would have had coal cars going up and down it for a very long time, many decades. Now just the sound of trickling water is the only activity down here. Old book. This gangway would have been completely clear of rock fall, and tracks would have been nice and tidy at one time. I don't know what that is. Maybe for wire rope? Yeah, it's got to be for wire rope. Here's that rail intersection where the switch is. Here's an old barrel of grease. Veedol, V-E-E-D-O-L. And this was a product from Flying A. You can see the wings. Get a closer shot. It says oil and greases. That's really special. Veedol, all-purpose grease. Still has the grease in it. You can see their little finger marks from the miners who were grabbing the grease. That's pretty cool. Look at how tight of an entrance this is. My hard hat got stuck. It came right off. Look at that.